Welcome you all. Myself, Miss V.P. Mani, working as an assistant professor at Satara College of Pharmacy, Satara. So in this video, we are going to see the experiment based on thin layer chromatography. So the aim of the experiment is to separate and identify the mixture of sugars by thin layer chromatography using different solvent system. So these are the objectives will be achieved after the performing experiment. To understand the experimental techniques of TLC, to study how to develop TLC chromatogram by ascending type techniques, to learn about qualitative evaluation of TLC chromatogram by determination of RF value and comparing RF value with the standard, to learn about quantitative evaluation of a separated spot on a TLC chromatogram. So these are the requirements. So we will require this type of the glass bus, chemicals and the instrument for performing this experiment. Now we have to see about the principle which is involved in the separation of the mixture of the sugars by the TLC. Similar to the orthochromatographic method, TLC is also based on the principle of separation. The separation depends on a relative affinity of the compound towards stationary and the mobile phase. So those components having the higher affinity towards the stationary phase that will travel slowly, whereas those components having the higher affinity towards mobile phase that will travel faster. So the compound under the influence of the mobile phase, which is driven by the capillarity action, travels over the surface of the stationary phase. Thus, the separation of the component in the mixture is achieved. Once the separation occurs, individual components are visualized as a spot at a respective level on the plate, and their nature or the characters are finally identified by means of the suitable detection techniques. Now we are going to see exactly capillarity action. Capillarity action is also called as a capillarity, that describes the ability of the liquid to flow against the gravity in a narrow space, such as thin tube. This spontaneous rising of a liquid is the outcome of the two opposite forces. The first one cohesive and the second one adhesive. Cohesive force is the attractive force between similar molecules or the atoms, for example, water and water. Whereas adhesive force is the attractive force between dissimilar molecules or the atom. For example, water in a tube. Now, when we are going to say capillarity action is high, when the adhesion is greater than the cohesion, then we can say capillarity is high, and vice versa. So in case the force of adhesions are greater than those of the cohesion, the molecule of the liquids cling to the wall of the test tube. So in these two figures has been clearly given. In the first beaker, there is a presence of the water and the capillarity tube is deep in that. Whereas in the second beaker, there is a presence of the mercury and capillarity tube which is deep in that the mercury. So when the adhesion force is greater, then when the adhesions are greater than those of the cohesion, then molecule of the water or the liquid cling onto the wall of the test tube. we will observe here that upper surface of the liquid becomes concave, That is, the height of the liquid at the contacted area here is higher than the center of the tubes. And this is vice versa for the mercury, because here is a cohesion force is greater than that of the adhesion. So the height of the liquid at the contact area is lower than its height at the center of the tube. Now we have to see in a detail the procedure. The first and the foremost step is the choice of the solvent used in a TLC, and it is the dependent on two important factors. The first one, nature of constituent to be separated, that is whether it is polar or the non-polar, and the second one, the nature of the process involved, whether it is the adsorption or the partition. If one knows the chemical nature of a solute to be separated, it is possible to know a suitable solvent by using a original Stahl's triangle, which is interrelating adsorbent activity, nature of solute and the nature of the solvent. Once the mobile phase selected, then select the development chamber and add the selected solvent into the development chamber and cover it. Keep aside for 1 to the 2 hours. It is important in a TLC that the development chamber is perfectly saturated with the solvent vapors, because if we use the saturated development chamber, then total development time is reduced to the 1/3, and it also get the straight solvent front. This solvent front value we are using in the calculation of the RF value. So if we want the correct solvent front value, we have to use the saturated development chamber. Now, after that, the next step is the preparation of the slurry. Precautions how to take here while the preparation of slurry. You have to take the correct proportion of the silica gel and the solvent or the water. The slurry should not be too thick and too thin. So medium consistency you have to maintain here. Now after the preparation of the slurry, select the glass plate by considering the size of the development chamber, and then prepare the thinner layer on the glass plate. That is the preparation of the TLC plate. So for the preparation of the TLC plate, there are the 4 methods. One is pouring, second one dipping, third one spraying, and the fourth one spreading. So by using the one of the technique, prepare the thinner layer on the TLC on the glass slide. You have to spread the slurry uniformly on the glass plate to form the uniform layer. Now after the preparation of the TLC plate, air dry this plate. After the air drying, the next step is purification of silica gel. There is a need to purify the silica gel G, because silica gel contains iron as an impurity, which cause a considerable distortion of the chromatogram. So dip the air dry TLC plate into the methanol as to concentrated HCl 9:1 proportion, and allow to run that the solvent through the another edge of the plate. the ion get migrated with the solvent front to the upper edge of the plate and then activate the TLC plate. After purification of silica gel chill layer, activate thin layer of silica gel or TLC plate in a hot air oven which is maintained at 110 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. The purpose for the activation of the TLC plate is for getting the active layer and to remove as completely as possible the liquid associated with the thin layer. Now, meanwhile, prepare the sample solution and apply the spot of the sample solution to be detected on a TLC plate which is 2 to the 3 cm away from bottom of plate to avoid the dissolution of the spot in the mobile phase. To maintain the size of the spot, some small repeated application is made by allowing the solvent to evaporate after each application. And it can be easily achieved by pre-warming the TLC plate and passing a stream of a hot air right below the sample spot. Or you can also use the hair dryer. After the application of the sample, air dry the spot and keep into the saturated development chamber and allow to run the TLC plate up to the desired height of the solvent. But after covering, allow to run the solvent through the TLC plate up to the desired height. When the solvent run up to the desired height, then remove from the development chamber and mark the solvent front position immediately at the two corners with a pencil and dry it. Then next step is a visualization of the spot. If the colored spot appear on the TLC plate, then you can directly perform the qualitative analysis by determination of the RF value. But if the spot is not visualized on the TLC plate, then you have to keep the plate in an iodine chamber till appearance of the spot, and once the spot is visualized, remove from the iodine chamber and perform the evaluation. There are the two methods for the evaluation of the spot, qualitative and the quantitative. In a qualitative, simply determination of the RF value and comparing with the standard, whereas in a quantitative evaluation, there are two methods. One is a direct and second one is a indirect. In a direct method, the quantitative determination is undertaken directly on the layer, whereas in an indirect, the substances are removed from the adsorbent and then determined after elution. So, the spots are appeared here. Then, here we are going to perform the quantitative determination by using the indirect method. Mark the every spot with the pencil. Transfer the spot in a beaker containing the solvent and stir the solution. Then filter the solution for removal of the adsorbent material. Whatever the filter you are getting here, analyze by using the different techniques such as the HPLC, UV spectrophotometry, calorimetry and all that. So this is the observation table, mobile phase. Here is a mixture, glucose and the sucrose. You have to calculate the RF value. So this is the formula for the determination of the RF value. So this is the table. RF value is determined by using the formula distance traveled by the solute from the origin line divided by distance traveled by the solvent from the origin line. So these are the reference. Thank you.